Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We had a small catastrophe this morning. I went to make coffee, and there wasn't any. Dun, dun, dun. That's it. No show, no model building, no nothing. So Captain Max gets his coffee. You guys remember that old Colombian coffee commercial where all you see is this contrail move through the sky and you hear the sound of a jet engine winding up and the cap makes the announcement, ladies and gentlemen, we're cruising at 28,000 feet. And you hear the flight attendant come in the flight deck back when they could do that. And Captain, we're out of Colombian coffee. And you hear, of course, the engine's like reversing it. You see the contrail just making a U-turn in the sky. Anyway, so... did I just stick my finger in my ear? My God, I know this is a totally unscripted, casual stream of consciousness, man, but you're still on camera. Behave yourself. So, oh, the cat sniffing the camera. If it starts shaking, you'll know why. My wife came and made me a cup of coffee with this little. We use for the morning thing. I use Keurig usually either 8 o'clock or what's that? Black Silk. And okay, if the camera starts shaking, she's rubbing her face against, scenting up the handle of the camera. Oh, you're happy now. Okay, ma'am, can I continue? Okay, thank you. So anyway, she has this little Venezuelan 1-cup percolator, and it's the kind that you put the water in the bottom, the coffee in the top, and then the coffee goes in the middle, the water's on the bottom, and you put it on the stove. And my God, it made excellent coffee. The thing is, since it was hand scooped, because we have a can of regular coffee, but we don't have a coffee maker that can use it except for this little 1-cup thing. It's like an ejection seat, or a skate pod for emergencies only. It's the first time we've actually had to use it. And she told me it made great coffee, because it's the first time I've heard coffee percolate in a while. And then smelled it, and that'll take you back. But anyway, so I have my coffee, but it's much stronger than normal, so it was Venezuelan style. So I went ahead and added a little hot water to it, and now I have a full mug of coffee. So we can have a nice long show while I drink that, and you can listen to the delicious sounds of me going gulp. So, on with the business at hand. Agenda for the day, meeting will now come to order. Hear ye, hear ye. The order, Max's models, local 4521. No, this is local number 1. It's a stupid idea. Everybody can give themselves a local Max's Models Lodge number. But I get one. Max's Models Lodge number 1 will now come to order. Hear ye, hear ye. So, one of the things I'll probably get to today, I think I'm going to wrap up most of the Stagecoach. Might get it done today. But depending on how much argument I get with those chains and everything. But one thing I have to figure out is, how am I going to put the mount the stage and the horses? Tamiya glue, Elmer's white glue. What's going to be the best thing to mount it with? Now remember, we're talking about plastic going on paper mache, which is white glued to wood, which of course has been painted. We all know the model airplane glues, like regular Tamiya and stuff, glue really don't. It's been my experience. They don't do anything with wood, because they're made, as was pointed out a while back by one of you guys, is that what we keep calling glues are actually solvents. Elmer's is a glue. These other things are actually solvents. And I'm thinking white glue would probably be the best thing. It dries clear, pretty much adhere to anything. And I think that's probably going to be the safest thing to use with paper and plastic. And I thought about mixing up a little bit of the resin, because that stuff would bond stuff. I have a little bit of that quick dry fiberglass resin left. Actually, not left. I have it. The stuff I have, I used all the clear hard resin. The other stuff that made the kind of spongy foamy parts, that was not that wouldn't adhere where the crap. It has no strength. But I do have some good old fashioned, for my RC models, I do have some good old fashioned 5-minute epoxy resin. That's an option also. And I could also use that to make a little puddle or something, because it dries hard and clear. I would kind of add a little flair, make a little mud puddle on the diorama. But actually, you know, I could put a little bit around the wheel and make like it's going through a puddle, and that would give it a chance to really bite into the wheel. So why don't you guys shoot back some ideas on that, because I might get to that today or tomorrow. And I suppose I could run a little experiment today with it and see how that goes. The only part I've glued into place other than terrain is the Bandito, because those pistol barrels are just glued on hollow tubes and painted, and they're really easy to break. And I figure by putting him behind that rock, positioning him behind that rock the way I did, that should keep me from anything from getting over there and knocking, you know, breaking those pistol barrels off again. So he's glued into place. Although I should probably put some grass or something over the stand so it blends better. I think I have one bridle to finish, and I've already got the main piece and the bit in. I just need the straps that go into the chin and over the tooth. So that, one or two pieces of harnesses, then hook it up, glue the driver and the shotgun man or rifleman to it, and glue everything onto the diorama, and make some touch-up paint, and we're done. I did tell him I'd make a strong box. I need to find some. I'll probably just cut up some cardboard or something, or make a little Wells Fargo strong box to stick under the driver. That's it. I think we may get done today. You know, I have a question for some of you guys, and particularly, I think Mystic Modeler, or Mystic Model Ships, Mystic Ship Modeler. Gosh, I can't remember. But Bruce, I watch your videos, and you guys should go over and give him a peek. He's like me. He's just a guy shooting from his garage as he does it, showing his daily builds and stuff. Very laid back. And is it Mystic Model Ships? You'll probably see him in the comment section. But you know, Bruce, I look at all the detail that goes in those ships, and I'm sure a ship is far more complicated than this Stagecoach. But brother, I don't know where you get the patience. And that goes for all you guys that build all this, you know, in-depth, highly detailed stuff. Gosh, I wish I'd recorded that phone call with Nick Argento when I spoke to him at Glencoe, because now all these guys that run these model companies are so busy. You wouldn't believe what goes on in a day in one of those places, especially these companies like Atlantis and Glencoe that are, you know, relatively smallish companies, and the presidents of the company have to do everything, and God bless them. They're just so full of cool information. And Nick had made the point that he says, you know, well, Glencoe makes models for the casual modeler, and I need to pick up some of their kits now that I've done this. I know they make the little Stagecoach and everything in the wagons. I'm thinking, you know, maybe I should get some smaller ones and give those a shot, just to sort of, I don't know, it's kind of got me in a cowboy frame of mind. As I mentioned before, I used to shoot cowboy action matches, and I would show you some pictures, but with my pot belly hanging over my gun belt, it's pretty laughable. And again, maybe you could use a chuckle in the morning. And a friend of mine took me out to one of the matches, let me borrow his equipment, and I was like, it's fun because the reason I bring that up is I used to shoot in something called IPSC, International IPSC International Practical Shooting Competition. And where I'm going to go with this, IPSC is the shooting version of like an IPMS contest. And see if you guys could follow me on this. And tell me if you think I'm wrong. But you go out to an IPSC match, and there's all the guys with their race equipment and everything, and there's PPC and IPSC, which are both shooting competitions, mostly pistol. And oh gosh, it's been so long since I've done it. I get them confused. But one of them you have to carry like a regular duty firearm. I mean, it can be glassed up action and everything, but it's you can't have all the beer can scopes on it and all that stuff. It's got to be the kind of thing that you would carry at work. It's got to, and the other one you can pretty much you turn it into a race gun, put anything on it you want. You have guys with these guns with compensators and laser aim point scopes and all the toys. And you watch people like Rob Latham shoot, and I mean, it's just amazing what these people can do. It is like something out of the movies. And anyway, the problem is you go to these matches and you go there to have fun, but they are competitions, and they have all these different categories. So major caliber, minor caliber. So you wind up competing, and they're nitpicking all the rules, which I understand when it's for safety. I've gotten DQ disqualified for a safety violation one time, and I made the mistake. I'm not complaining about it, but they're just, for example, beep, pow, 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 reload, pow, 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 pow. And then they go out and look at the target, and a lot of them might be like a silhouette with a wall in front of it, and they're looking at the bullet hole, and they're trying to determine if it's a 4-point or a 5-point, or if it counts as a hit or a miss. And they have these little clear plastic things with circles, so they can put it over, and if you break the line, you get the point. You have grown men arguing about whether I got a 5, not a 4. You're trying to downgrade my score, and everybody gets so serious, and the egos. Well, I know you got the the Colt Gold Cup, but I got my Kimber with laser scope. And if you remember the old movie Police Academy, it was like Tackleberry, and I carry the Taylonix for 1911 with 230 grain hardball manslaughter, blah 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 blah. And like the girlfriend's like, oh yeah, well I carry come on, and I'm like, God, guys, come on. I mean, we like to admire each other's equipment. Okay, maybe that didn't sound quite right. All the firearms enthusiasts enjoy looking and seeing the other fancy equipment that each person brings to the shooting match. But in the end, a lot of guys just squeeze the fun out of it, taking it so seriously, and they know more than you do, and their equipment's better than yours, and all the egos flare up. I'm like, guys, give it a break. And most likely not one of them, myself included, has ever been in a real incident where you had to use one, so we're talking like we know what we're talking about. And because we can poke holes in paper. Well, I'm sure you've seen the same thing in IPMS. You use this, and this paint's better, and that kit's better, and blah, 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 and my thing's better, and well, I don't use it that way. You did. Well, if you had pre-shaded that, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you'd given it another coat of clear coat, you'd have been a go, blah, 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 blah. And Nick was talking about Glencoe builds models for the casual model builder, not a gajillion parts. And for the kind of people that like to sit back and enjoy building models, which is definitely the category I fit in. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking people who do these hyper detailed models. I have nothing but respect for that. But if you're really doing great work, it is wonderful to share it and show it off. And you certainly earn the right to do so. And if somebody, oh, wow, how did you do that? It's great. But to just walk up and see somebody's model and start critiquing it, I mean, I don't know. It just seems a little unnecessary to me. This is a hobby. We're supposed to be having a good time here. But then you're talking to a guy who wipes his paintbrushes off on his own t-shirt, so one you said, I forget, it was Happy Pursuitarian or who it was, or Mr. Faulkner. Somebody made the comment last night that you have your favorite pair of jeans because you use that to wipe your brush off. And I'm thinking, what? Jeans? My God, man, you don't do that to denim. No, I'm kidding. I was like, yep, everybody's got their thing. Of course, I threw this T-shirt together it was just sort of a gag, have a little fun, do something different. But you may have noticed I'm wearing it backwards. The collar's right here. Just for this morning's show, it'll get tossed in the laundry today. And I had the idea a long time ago for like a sort of a tie-dye leisure shirt with that. Well, yes, I do build kilt models. How did you know? Well, the cat's just having a grand old time over there. Oh, she's being a cat this morning. She had her coffee too. I'm thinking about maybe making a few tongue-in-cheek little movies about, like green screen some of the models and just poke a little fun at them, just something to do. By the way, does anybody know if they make a model of the Iron Giant? You guys remember that from the 95 or 99, the cartoon movie, the animated movie, the Iron Giant? I'm sure somebody does, but I think he also made a brief appearance in that virtual reality player, Interplayer 1 movie. But I just think that would make kind of a, if you're ever going to do a figure kit, that's something I might like to do, maybe. Always love that movie. Now, I heard somebody, it's funny, even people I know that are like gun collectors and stuff, because the Iron Giant, people accuse it of having an anti-gun, anti-violence or message. I don't think the message is anti-gun the way a lot of people do. I mean, I know that guns are bad, guns kill, but I don't think it's integral to the plot because of what the Iron Giant himself is. I don't see it personally. I don't see it as making a political statement the way some people do. I think it's just great movie, and the whole scene where he, Superman into the nuke, man, that's some of the best cinema with the music and everything. That is some of the best cinema ever. That movie was really tapping on all cylinders.
Choose to be
Superman.
YouTube channel, Foundation for Economic Freedom or something like that. He did a really good analysis, 8 or 10 minute analysis of the movie, but and I was just thinking, the Iron Giant would make a nice movie, which brings up a question to hop genres. How would the Iron Giant stand up against Godzilla? Well, now, he mopped the floor with King Kong. I mean, his big ass laser guns could, did I say the AA word? Sorry. His big bad boy laser guns could level cities. So I'm pretty sure that he could take an oversized monkey, but Godzilla is another story. Here is a sick diorama for you, because Iron Giant is such a wonderful movie, and even though it gets a little darker towards the end, and put him against the War of the Worlds, like get an Iron Giant model and put him against Pegasus War of the Worlds, swan ships. That'd be an interesting matchup. So here's the question of the day. Of kit models, whether it be figures or cars, what is a crossover diorama you think would be cool to do? And it can be anything. It can be like a car on the battlefield at Gettysburg, or mixing up your figure models, just any old thing. Look at what's on your shelf, and here's the thing. It's got to be something you've got in a box or on a shelf. So look at your models and just go, you know, Spitfire versus Dracula, or just any old thing. And boy, I can't do the Iron Giant versus Godzilla because I don't have an Iron Giant. But well, you guys already know mine because I have the Land Cruiser, and I did my Godzilla versus the Wehrmacht. So with me, it would be, you know, my World War II, late World War II German models, or post what would have been post World War II, you know, Wunderwaffe versus Godzilla. That would be my mashup. And something I thought might make it interesting, and it was an idea I had for a treatment, keeping it in Japan, was the follow-on to that would be 1946. The war's over. But Japan is attacked now by Godzilla a year later, and because so the American military, you know, we've sent everybody home. We just have an occupational force there. We're not like, we're not getting our people killed. We just got done fighting a war. You defend your own island. So we give the Japanese their planes and guns and ships back, and maybe some American equipment, so you could have like late model Zeros with Corsairs in Japanese markings fighting Godzilla. You know, something like that. There's a lot of meat on that bone. You could have a lot of fun with something like that. Can you believe I'm a grown man? Well, I'm an old man. Growing up is optional. Remember the old joke? I want to be a pilot. I want to grow up and be a pilot. Can't do both, son. Guys, we'll see you tonight. And put down in the comments section, QOTD, what would be your of your models up on the wall? What genre mashup would you have? And if you have any ideas on the best way to attach the Stagecoach and stuff and the horses to the diorama base, stick that down there too. I'll be reading them. And we'll see everybody tonight. Bye.